Good morning and welcome to the Chat with a Shero with the City of Rockford. So I'm excited. I get to sit here and chat with Shannon, another individual from our fire department. So we're going to just get to know a little bit about what you do. Okay. And then we're going to change hats and get to know you a little bit.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. So what is your position with the city?
My role now is Mobile Integrated Healthcare Manager, or MIH for short.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about that. What do you do?
Well, Mobile Integrated started back in 2016. Our chief saw a need to be more proactive to the patients that are out there.
Okay.
And the goal was to kind of help these people not fall through the gaps. A lot of times they'll go to the ED and emergency room, and then what happens is they get their discharge instructions, they'll go home, they'll become very overwhelmed, they won't make the necessary phone calls or pick up their prescriptions, and they end up calling 911 again because their situation becomes dire and they need to go back to the hospital.
Okay.
So there has been, it started a while ago, mostly out west in the rural area, but Mobile Integrated Health has been around for a number of years.
Okay.
And the goal is to go to where they're at, meet them where they're at, walk alongside them until they're able to walk on their own. And that may require us to set up doctor's appointments for them.
Okay.
It may require us to take them somewhere. They may have transportation issues. They may not understand why they're taking the medications when they're taking them as they're taking them. So it's a lot of education, a lot of social work in that aspect. And things have changed. In 2020, we started the mental health aspect of. We were always more medical and oriented.
Okay.
And then we added the mental health aspect of it in 2020. And now that we have 4 teams and 3 of us deal with the mental health, and we are partnered with a nurse from UW. And we do the same thing. We just make sure that people have what they need.
Oh, nice. That is awesome. I mean, that's going beyond, I guess the care that's given from a firefighter, but making sure.
It's the follow through.
Yes, which is awesome, Man. So now how long have you been with the city and how long have you been in this position?
I've been with the city. I just completed my 26th year.
Oh, wow. Oh, awesome. 26 years.
Yes. And then I've been doing this role since 2018.
Okay. Oh, wow. Nice. So you're really enjoying this role?
It's a completely different challenge. I do enjoy it. There are days it can be a little challenging. I have more opportunities to learn.
Yes.
But I do enjoy this aspect of it. I like the fact that we're trying to help people out. When I was on company, when I was in the firehouse, we would go to the calls. We'd always go being reactive. We would go to the calls, and then we would end up helping the people. We get into the hospital, and I would kind of think, okay, they're good now. They're going to get case management. They're going to get the help they need.
Right.
They're good. Well, that's not always the case. And there's always certain circumstances that may prevent them from getting the help they need. And now that I'm doing this, I'm like, okay, now we're really getting to the meat of the matter and trying to find out how we can help these people.
Nice. And that is so true because it's correct. Whatever situation they were in, to pick them up and to take them to the medical facility. But yeah, it's like an extended hand now. It's not, a drop off, which is great because this is where they need to be. But it's like now, okay, I can walk with you to make sure. I know. And then it probably helps to cut down on the probably going back to ER or what have you.
That is the ultimate goal.
Okay.
Is to prevent that. No one wants to go to the hospital.
Right.
And so we're trying to help those people not have to use the hospital.
Okay. So, what is one thing that instantly makes your day better?
Getting a phone call from my son.
Okay. And so how old is your son?
He's 20.
He's 20.
Yeah,
okay.
He's going to be 21 here in the next week.
Okay. You only have the one?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Yep. That is nice when they become young adults, right? And they call you.
Ooh, yeah. When they call you, yes. It depends. Mom, I need money.
Right. Exactly.
But no, instantly when I get a phone call from him, it just makes my whole day because, again, as a young adult and he still wants to talk to me and ask me how I'm doing, and it's like,
Yeah, exactly. Without disclosing any confidential information, what is one of your fondest memories working for the city?
oof. Oh, there's so many. But I think it was just recently we helped an individual. She had a lot of mental health concerns, and it was something so simple as just helping educate her on her medications, and then making sure that she had the support that she needed. She had no family, no friends in the area, and just connecting her with the right resources. And now when you see her, her whole effect is different. She's brighter, she's smiling, and you can tell that the tension you used to see in her eyes and in her whole body language is completely gone.
Wow.
And she's still doing really well. She's still succeeding.
That's nice.
And so those are always, when you have those kind of calls, that's when you know you're in the right place.
Yes. What do you consider your greatest accomplishment? Now we're going to talk about you. So what is your greatest accomplishment in life?
I think that would be, I would say I think my son is, I think any parent would say that their child is one of their greatest accomplishments for children. But also getting on the fire department. That was, I went to college to be a graphic artist.
Okay.
And I did that for 8 years.
Okay.
And, but it wasn't as fulfilling as I had hoped it was going to be. I come from a family of nurses, my dad, my mom, my grandma.
Okay.
And, I decided my dad went with me to check out some nursing schools, and because I thought here late in my late 20s, I was going to whole career change. And I wasn't sure I had the constitution or the ability to do the nursing aspect of it. And I thought, well, before I go into school and spend a lot of money and spend a lot of time, let me take an EMT basic class.
Oh, okay.
And then I can know real quick if this is something for me. Well, it was a Rockford firefighter was teaching the class. And the way he talked about the job, the way he talked about his day, and I fell in love with pre-hospital medicine.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so I asked him, I'm like, what do I need to do? And so he gave me some advice. He told me what I needed to do. I wanted to make sure, since I was resident of Rockford, I couldn't work at any volunteer department. So it wasn't like I could get the experience from the fire aspect of it.
Okay.
So I just worked on my medical, knowledge. I went to school and got my paramedic license.
Wow.
And then when it came to testing, I just put forth, all my energy. I was older. I was 30 when I got on the job. So I was one of the grandma of my recruit class. But I'm real proud of the fact that I was able to really put myself down to the grindstone and work hard and achieve this.
Right. Absolutely. And I don't know, but my assumption, it probably wasn't too many women in the class.
No. Right. It was myself and one other woman in the recruit class. She's no longer on the job. But I've always been the only woman usually at the station.
Right. Yeah.
More often than not.
Yeah.
So
yeah, which is an accomplishment as well, right? Because I know it's not easy to get on, right? So
no, it's not.
Right.
Yeah.
So everything that you guys have to go through to get on the company, right? The physical, all of that. So commendable.
Thank you.
Yeah. What is something that always makes you smile?
Oh God! Well, it goes back to my family. My family, they always just bring a lot of joy to me. I've got a really good group of friends. So when we're all together, beautiful weather.
Yeah.
When the sun is shining, you can't help but smile. But probably my family is my biggest reason.
Yes. And when that sun call,
oh yeah, exactly.
I know. Mine texts me this morning, and it's like, oh, God. What is your favorite holiday and why?
Christmas.
Christmas. Why Christmas?
Because it was my dad's favorite holiday.
Okay.
Well, and my dad was like a big kid. You know, he and we always had tradition that we would always go Christmas shopping for my mom.
Okay.
And so it was always that a couple days that we would go out, him and I, it was just fun. You know, we would go to these stores and my dad's like, okay, mom wants to get this. And I'd help him with, you know, where to go, and we'd have lunch together. And it was just a really wonderful time spending with my dad.
Right.
And I think he always made Christmas fun. You know, it wasn't so much about the gifts. It was just about being together and just having a great time, you know, celebrating.
Nice.
And so I always try to kind of continue that since he's passed. You know, I always want to make Christmas really special. Go see the lights down at Mississippi and go into Chicago to Chris Kindle. You know, all the different things that make Christmas enjoyable. And that's why it's always been and still is my favorite holiday.
Yes. And those lights, I mean, the lights are beautiful.
They are.
And I love to go through them too. And even my sons that are 24 and 30.
Okay.
Every year they still say, let's go. And I'm like, oh, you know, still want to go with mom and dad and laugh. This is something that we do, which is beautiful, right? In those memories.
Well, to share that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Where is the coolest place you've traveled?
Well, so I'm originally from Florida.
Oh, okay.
So I grew up in Florida until I was 14, and then we moved up to Rockford. And so my family, we would go up and down. This is when you used to drive. You know, back in the 70s, you didn't fly anywhere. You know, you drove. And we would always go up and down the eastern coast.
Okay.
And one of the places that we went to, the Great Smoky Mountains, was always a beautiful place to go to. Lake Lanier, Georgia. They had those A-frame homes, and I just have really fond memories of going up and down the Keys in Florida. There was one summer we drove all around Florida and visited the Everglades and the Keys and each coast, the Gulf of Mexico and, you know, the Atlantic Ocean and everything. So, I guess there's multiple places I would say are cool, but it was doing that.
That is. And, you know, we don't even appreciate Florida, really, and all of that's around there, right? Of course, there's Disney World or what have you, but there is so much just around that state. That's absolutely beautiful.
There is.
Really beautiful. What is your favorite, if you have one, comfort food?
Ooh, shepherd's pie.
Oh, shepherd's pie. Okay.
So give me a big old plate of shepherd's pie. I'm set.
So do you know how to make it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you're a firefighter. I know you guys are good cooks, right?
We do have a lot of good cooks on the job. And I learned a lot. Before I got on the job, I mean, I cooked a little bit, but when I got on the job, I learned from some wonderful people how to, you know, season and these little tricks and tips and everything. So, yeah, I love to cook and I love to bake.
Oh, you love to bake? Oh, wow. Now, see, baking, I like to cook. Baking takes time, patience, and it's an art. I mean, really, it is.
You got to measure things.
So you do.
You do.
I tried. My grandmother never measured. You know how they just pinch.
Sprinkle it. Yeah.
And I would call her and had her walk me through some dinner rolls. And she said, I don't know. She said, just take a pinch. And I'm like, well, do you pinch it and put it in the thing? The dinner rolls, just to remind you, did not come out right whatsoever. But yeah, after that, I was like, baking is not for me. You got to, and you do take patience and time, you know, but yeah, that's good. So you bake cakes, everything.
Oh, anything with chocolate. Unfortunately, if anybody wants anything baked from me, it's going to have chocolate.
Okay. So what makes Shannon unique?
You know, I'm always up for a challenge. And when I'm told that a patient has been, you know, they're stubborn and you can't make them do anything, or not that you make them do anything, but you can't help them get into the resources that they need, I always take that as, okay, I'm going to make sure that this happens. And I don't know if it makes me unique, but I do love the fact that I've kind of become a go-to person, you know, with some people. They're like, hey, you know, we can't make it happen. Maybe we can ask Shannon.
Oh,
you know, or it's kind of nice that you're that person that they feel that you might be able to make things happen.
Yeah.
And so I take that role and kind of run with it.
Yes. That is good though. I mean, because you don't give up, right? And so to have others say, well, you know what, we've tried. You know what, let's reach out and see it bad, which is awesome. Because, unfortunately, some people may be like, well, it is what it is, Yeah. And so.
And some people they're just stubborn and, they're adults and.
Yeah.
But I don't want to give up on them.
Right. Exactly.
Because at one point they may say no, 20 times, but then that 21st time, they might finally be done with how they're living.
Yeah.
And they want to, have a better life.
Exactly.
And what that is different for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And that's the one thing that I try to make sure I remember is what I think may be the best for them, they're not ready for yet.
Yes.
So you just have to keep trying.
Yes.
And not give up on them.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I always say that, and your mom would appreciate that. No just means no today.
Right.
It's actually working retail. Exactly. Not tomorrow. It's a different day. So what are your hobbies?
So because I have a graphic arts background, I love drawing. And so about, I'll say 7 years ago, I bought a laser machine. So I engrave and I make signs.
Nice.
And I do a lot of work for people. For a while there, I was doing the retirement signs for the fire department.
Okay.
Where you just nice 18-inch round and you put their name on it and you stain and you paint and there's the whole it's relaxing for me having the whole process of staining the board, sanding it, making the letters, setting up designing it in Adobe Illustrator, bringing it over into the engraver and then engraving everything or cutting it out and then gluing it down. To me it's relaxing. And I just love doing that. And I try to, what I did with my business, I kind of like a little bit of, a side gig going on, but what I do is it's taking memories that people have, whether it's a photograph or something about their retirement or a Christmas gift, that type of thing, and being able to make it and have it be unique and personable and just for that person. It's not something you can go to a store and get.
Right.
So I love doing that.
Nice. When you were just describing it, though, I'm like, wow, this is relaxing for her. I was fucking stressed just thinking about, but creativity, it's always a gift for people.
Yeah, I love doing that.
Yeah, yeah. I have to remember that, we need something. There's a city. I'm like, oh, Shannon, I want something you need to go, right? Yep. So last question, how do you want to be remembered?
The one thing, people remember my dad as being kind and funny. My dad had a sense of humor on him. And I think I want to be remembered the same way. I want to be remembered as somebody who would never give up on anybody, somebody who was a hard worker, and somebody that was kind.
Oh,
and I feel that I've accomplished that, or in accomplishing that. I have my moments, but I think we all do.
Yes, absolutely.
But yeah, that's how I want to be remembered.
Oh, that is wonderful. If we all had that mindset, and to help others, because that, to me speaks of selflessness, right? Someone that just wants to help people, and that's what the world needs, right? All of us just helping, if I have something and if I can help you, if someone can help, that is awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. So, well, just so you know, I appreciate you. And I know the administration appreciate what you do and the aldermen. And so we say thank you. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you for your years of service here. I thank you for even in the position and role you're in, the young ladies that will see and maybe inspire them to do this work as well. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate this opportunity to talk with you too.
Thank you.